Rolling, rolling. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show where we talk about all the trending horror movie news headlines of the week, guys. This is the Horror Weekly. And it's, we got some big topics like a lot of, sequels. Fall 2, Smile 2, Twisters 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer 2, maybe, who knows, I don't know. Faces of Death, Renfield, Return to Silent Hill is a sequel, so we got a lot of that. But we start off today's show by talking about Evil Dead Rise that debuts at South by Southwest. Let's get into it. Evil Dead Rise, South by Southwest review. Gnarly crowd pleaser forges blood, new ground for the franchise. Now, guys, this is one of the movies that I'm anticipating for next month, right? It comes out in April. So, I like the trailers for this. You know that I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. And, April 21st is when this hits. So, guys, early reviews are in, and people are liking it. They say that it's one of the most bloodiest installments, and we kind of got that from the trailers. I think the trailer showed us that it was, and it is a bit of a different take, right? Let's go over to the IMDb here. Basically, it's out of the woods and into like an apartment complex, right? It reads here in the synopsis, a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessed demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of their family imaginable. Directed by Lee Cronin, the guy who did The Hole in the Ground. We talked about that at length. That was a great movie, and just the imagery that you got from this, stunning. Absolutely stunning. So it's about sisters, is kind of like the backbone. One of them gets possessed and becomes a deadite, I guess, and then tries to murder them. Okay. So, as I said, the early reviews are in, and people are digging it. Lee Sullivan is Beth. Alyssa Sutherland is Ellie. Okay. Now, for sure. Let's just go over to the tomato meter and see what the score is. 100%. Oh, wow. 100%, 17 reviews. Nah, it's only 17 reviews, but okay. And I'm guessing this is just people who are fans of the franchise, right? Well, I guess maybe you would get some other critics in there, but it's only 17 reviews that are in. It's not likely to hold on to that 100%. Very few movies do. But let's see what some of the snapshot reviews are saying. Here, from the Austin Chronicle. There are elements of all those prior summonings, making Evil Dead Rise a chimera that is somehow unique. Okay. RogerEbert.com says, once it gets out of its own way, and gives the audience what they came to see, Evil Dead Rise is an absolute blast. Cool. Well, that sounds, yeah. So you're not going to get a bad review in here if it's 100%. So we're not going to get a little bit of a variety. But, Perry in here. I know that Perry Nemiroff posted one of hers. I want to see all of them. Maybe she's not quite up on. Maybe they haven't put hers in yet. But I've seen that it's up on her YouTube channel. So go over to her channel if you want to see hers. I respect hers because she's a horror fan and she's a one of my trusted critics that I always say that I trust her the most when it comes to this, that, her, and who's the other one that I like? Clark Wolf. She does really good analysis of horror and stuff like that. Okay, so guys, Evil Dead Rise. Are you excited? April 21st. The early reviews they're saying that it's really bloody and gory. That's what I mostly get from it, and gets me hyped. So South by Southwest is on right now, and apparently they got some new posters out and stuff of one like the cheese grater that we've seen. There's a poster out for that. Why didn't I pull that up, James? I should have. Evil Dead Rise cheese grater. Is it grater? Poster. Yeah. See if I can pull that up. Actually, I should probably just do that, and just in case it's a little bit too graphic. No, it's not too graphic. We can pull that up. Although it's probably just yeah. Okay, now maybe we'll do that. Yeah, you can see it there on the side. Okay, yeah, that's better. There's the cheese grater one. Yeah, because we've seen it in the commercials that uh, at one point there, you can see right here, a cheese grater looks like it gets used on somebody. So you know it's going to be very, very brutal, very, very graphic. Pfeiffer in the live chat says our video and audio is good. A Weaver says, hi, guys. Love Perry. Yeah, she's awesome. Um, that's cool. Evil Dead Rise. So the hype is good. We're still about a month away for the rest of us, but that's fine. The early buzz, it does help the momentum along, I do believe. So that's cool. So, guys, you're watching Mirror Domains. We're 11 a.m. here every Saturday for the Horror Roundup. There are all my social media handles that you can go check us out on. And what else can you find here? Let's just go over to the community tab and tell you what's coming up later on today. There's our weekly schedule. Sometimes this schedule gets altered like this week, but we finished up The Last of Us. We watched Batman Returns, Phantom Menace, Mandalorian Episode 3. That was kind of a weird one for a lot of people. Survivor. We watched Grumpy Man reacted to Tangled. We watched Tangled this week. Last week we watched The Night House on for our horror week, movie, and this week we're going to be watching The Menu. Yes, The Menu was up there on the community tab for you guys to go and vote in. And of course, you know we do movie news today, and we do the movie news normal show Mondays and Wednesdays. But I think I'm going to change that up again this week. I'm going to just tweak it a little bit to see if we can. Try to generate some more views. But that community tab, guys, that community tab is key. You can go over there and see. There's my St. Patrick's Day picture. I put up polls constantly, trying to get feedback from you guys. Should I do this or not? But the poll, oh God, the ritual just pulled ahead. Like seriously, seriously, like 10:15. I checked this again, and it was the Menu. So it's switching back and forth. Guys, I had to put my foot down on one of them. And let me guess it. When I refresh it, it's going to be going back to the Menu. So I eventually I got to pull the trigger on one. I'm happy that the ritual got up there. So maybe tomorrow we'll watch the ritual. I don't know, or maybe I can still change it. I can still change it to the ritual. Yeah. No. Why not? Yeah. So I will take down that previous stream and change it over to the ritual. That's what I'll do. You guys can watch me do that live right now. I had the menu all teed up, ready to go. Weird. So, watch this, guys. We go into here. Delete forever. Okay. So we're deleting that. And we are going into the ritual. We will be watching the ritual. There you go. No, I got thumbnails both for Bifer. Actually, I produced, like, because I don't know, but literally, I, like, it wasn't like half an hour ago I checked it and it was the Menu. So I was like, okay, I make all the thumbnails. Don't worry. I'll switch it over at lunch and we'll watch The Ritual at 1 p.m. today, guys. There it is, straight up. It's on Netflix. So it's a quick movie too. So that'll be nice and fun. And if you guys can come join us in the live chat, as you can see, a lot of people here are talking and chatting with each other. A Weaver, Clifford DeHoppit, Hourglass Vikings. So there you go. Let's get back into the movie news headlines, the horror movie news headlines. Oscar Isaac, Andrew Garfield, and Mia Goth, maybe in Guillermo Del Toro Frankenstein? What? A Netflix dish. Well, this broke earlier in the week, and of course, you know I'm a huge Guillermo Del Toro fan. I love Pinocchio. We had lots of fun watching Cabinet of Curiosities here on the channel, and now they're just in talks, guys. Most of these are just in talks. They are not confirmed yet, but the way that I would see it, I would say that Oscar Isaac would be playing Dr. Frankenstein. I'm thinking Andrew Garfield maybe could be playing Frankenstein, like the monster. Sorry, the monster, because in the book, Frankenstein is the doctor, and the monster is just referred to as the monster, but everybody calls it the Frankenstein monster. Now, Mia Goth, could she play like like in the original story, like Frankenstein wanted a bride. Could you imagine her done up all in makeup and becoming like we've seen her go crazy and do crazy things in X and in Pearl, and if you actually got to see Infinity Pool, you know that she's got that level in her. Her working with Del Toro would be awesome, and Andrew Garfield taking on this would be like a totally different assignment from him, totally unexpected. That's great. And I heard that he was going to take a break from acting, but it doesn't seem like it if he's in talks for this. So I don't know if it's going to be animated. I don't think it will be, because it says here next live action film. So it's not going to be an animated version. It sounds like it's going to be live action. Netflix declined to comment, so there's not been a whole lot of concrete information about this, but I wanted to highlight it this week because, that's going to be cool. If that comes out, hey, if it's going to be on Netflix, and just don't have a big budget of like $200 million or anything like that. But Garfield's got it in his wheelhouse that he can pull something like that off for sure. Weifer says Guillermo del Toro third remake in a row. Third, because he did Pinocchio, well, this, and then what was the third one before that? Because before that he did Nightmare Alley, right? Was Nightmare Alley a reboot, remake? I don't know. Hey Weaver, we're casting with Garfield. Yeah, but he's got the talent that he can pull it off. He easily, I think, is one like the better actors out there that's not getting a whole lot of recognition. Hey, if somebody asks you about that, Andrew Garfield is well deserved to be up there as top tier talent. That's same with Oscar Isaac. He's all of those three actors are fantastic. What did you say, A. Weaver? I voted for the menu, but I can't say if I'll be. I can't say if I'll be here for the watch along either way, but oh well. Okay, well that's fine because it'll be up there anyway for you to watch along later on. Nightmare Alley was a 1940s remake originally with Tyrone Powers. Bifer says, okay, thanks. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. I liked a lot of the production design and I liked the acting of Nightmare Alley, but I didn't like the message at the end where the main character is really not a good dude. And I felt really bad for Rooney Mara in that. But it was cool. I did like, and Kate Blanchett pretty much stole the show whenever she was on the screen. So I liked that. Anyway, cool. I'll keep my eye out for any news about this Frankenstein. Return to Silent Hill, first casting news plus confirmation of the storyline for the new reboot. Yes, well, it's not really going to be a reboot. I thought they were going to make it straight off like the game or something like that because the same director of the first Silent Hill is coming back for this. We talked about this before too. We did a full watch along for Silent Hill here on the channel because it is one of my favorite video game to movie adaptations out there. And we are going to get more Pyramid Head. That's great. So who are the two cast members that got announced? Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson from Jigsaw. And Jeremy Irons from Warhorse. What's going to be about? The film will follow James, a man broken after being separated from one of his true loves, Anderson. From his one true love, okay. When a mysterious letter calls him back to Silent Hill in search of her, he finds a one recognizable town transformed by an unknown evil. As James descends deeper into the darkness, he encounters terrifying figures that both familiar and new, and begins to question his own sanity as he struggles to make sense of reality and hold on long enough to save his lost love. Okay, but it's from the director of the first one who really liked the Resident Evil. So this gets underway next month, guys. Filming starts next month, so in April there. That's good news. So it's probably, it's not going to come out this year. I'm saying early next year, maybe next. They like to dump some horror movies there in January and February. I hope they can make that window. If not, probably next Halloween, maybe sometime that'll get out, because that'll have a lot of visual effects like the first one did. A lot of gore in it too, which I appreciate. So there's that girl from Saw. She's going to be in that. Christoph Gans. Yeah, Return to Silent Hill. No official release date just of yet. But what is this? Some conceptual art? Concept art. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it shows Pyramid Head there. Yeah, we're gonna see him for sure. He's like one of the staples, right? Very very iconic of the Silent Hill franchise. So it'd be kind of like a no-brainer that you would put him in. So if they kick off production for that next month, cool. Hopefully we'll get some set photos from that. And yeah, looking forward to that. Renfield comes out soon too. Renfield with Nicholas Hoult. I was going to try to use that as a tie-in for the menu. But looks like we're going to be watching The Ritual. So, Renfield TV spots brings back Nicolas Cage's Dracula back in time from the 1930s. So, yeah, this is like the, not the Bela Lugosi. What the heck was that version? But yeah, very recognizable footage there. The 30s version. No, it wasn't Lon Chaney. Who was it? But yeah, they try to emulate that, and it's interesting. I don't know if I can show it to you guys. I wish I could, but they like even try to copy like Nicolas Cage doing like that smiling man kind of thing. Yeah, and I think this is supposed to be like a flashback of when he recruits Renfield to be his henchman or whatever. Because you see Nicholas Hoult there come in. I'm not going to play it just in case of copyright stuff. But it's just kind of like a TV spot of him doing, the Dracula thing. He looks very much like that 1930s Dracula. Nicolas Cage doing that. You know that he respects that material. You know Cage does. So him doing that, I got no problem with that. Renfield, maybe I will play just a little bit of it. Hopefully we don't get flagged for it, because that would suck.
Dracula. Renfield, you will make a very good assistant.
Yeah. So then this TV spot just goes back into the normal stuff that we've seen from the other trailers, where he's just trying to break free of them in current times, and he's in talking with Aquafina, and they go to that group meeting for some reason. But yeah, Renfield comes out next month, right? Doesn't it? Yeah, see, it's got a whole bunch of video unavailables there, which makes me kind of hesitant to even have shown that what I did. But I think, doesn't it say April 14th? Yeah. April 14th. April 14th. So yeah, just next month. That's cool. A-Weaver says, I'm excited for Renfield. It's such a great cast. Yeah, it is a great cast. Also love the character of Renfield. Terrific concept. It is. Him trying to break free of his master, who's obviously in like the abusive relationship. I can't wait to see them play that up. You ever watch those Faces of Death movies? There were like 5 or 6 of them or something, and they were supposed to be like real death caught on film. By the way, that's the third type of genre of horror films that I don't recommend anybody go try to find. But Faces of Death was kind of trying to emulate that. It was supposed to be like real death. But then once you started to watch them, you realized, no, they're just, reenactments. They weren't real. There weren't real death caught on camera. It was supposed to be like banned in this place and stuff like that. And it looks like Dr. Montgomery and Barbie Ferreira are going to be starring in this new upcoming movie, the remake of Faces of Death. And this article goes on to say that, once you started watching it and you realized, allegedly showcasing real footage of real death. No. Especially when they got into one where there's like a worm that attaches to somebody, and you're like, no, okay, now you know that these are pretty much all staged and stuff like that. There are videos out there on YouTube and stuff where if you want to see people actually dying, you can see that stuff. But like the snuff films, right? It's just like, you don't need... that's the kind of stuff where I don't feel like you should be desensitized to that kind of stuff. And not as entertainment, but when they put it together like this, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like watching real people dying or anything like that. They got a synopsis for us. The new plot revolves around a female moderator of a YouTube-like website whose job is to weed out offensive and violent content and who herself is recovering from a serious trauma that stumbles across a group that is recreating the murders from the original film. But in the story primed for the digital age, an age of online misinformation, the question faced is, are the murders real or fake? Yeah. Yeah, I remember my boss got those in at the video store, and I watched them all. It was just going down that path where it's not really a movie. It's just a collection of scenes put together of people dying, and it's kind of like, yeah, would you pay for that? Should you be paying for that for entertainment value? That's the moral questions behind it, right? But, this is obviously going to be a movie, so we don't have to deal with that. And I'm not going to tempt you guys with trying to find out all these other things that there are. Those movies are out there and stuff. But Dr. Montgomery, obviously from Stranger Things. Cool, man. That's cool. Yeah. Somebody who, this girl operates a website and sees these things and just begins to question, is it real or is it not? So that's a very interesting take on it. I think they could roll with that. I'd be curious to see that. It doesn't say anything in here about a release date. But if they got the cast, I'm sure that they'll begin filming this soon. Yeah. Cool. Have to be checking that one out. A Weaver says, must be a meta take. Yeah. Oh, that sounds good, though. I despise the original films. This could be a good commentary on that. Yeah, and the original ones are really, really grindhouse, like low quality stuff. And you could tell that was just a doll thrown out of a window that was supposed to be a man hitting the ground. I mean, come on. Seriously, some of them were laughable. Some of them, I think, though, would have been hard to fake. Well, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, let's move on. Smile 2. Okay, well, I think this one was pretty much a no-brainer, right? Smile 2, Parker Finn just inked a first-look deal with Paramount. So, the adaptation, huge horror hit. Smile was big. Parker Finn's Smile. The Hollywood Reporter brings word that Parker Finn has signed a multi-year deal with Paramount Pictures. A Smile sequel is one of the top priorities. Well, because it made over like $200 million on a very, $17 million budget or something. And I really like Smile. And I hope that if that comes out on a streaming service that I have access to, we can watch that together with you guys. Because, it's one of the horror movies out recently that just made me go, wow, I can't believe that they pulled that off with good execution, too. So the director, creator, Parker Finn, I don't, 217 million worldwide. They set it up and created it in such a way that, there could be a sequel out there because it was kind of like an entity, right? That possessed people and made them smile like that. It's ripe for a sequel, and it doesn't have to necessarily follow the same characters. It doesn't, but I would suspect that they would come back. At least her, right? Or wait, no, maybe not her. If I'm remembering correctly, no, she wouldn't be back, right? Yeah, so it would follow a new slate of characters, maybe the detective or something. I don't know. It doesn't have to follow them. But yeah, that cat scene, the birthday party scene, that one got a lot of people. And it's such a creepy opening. This is like from the opening scene. So this is the marketing here did a great job with this. And this opening scene really set the tone for the movie. And Smile 2, I'll be looking forward to that. Pfeiffer says Smile marketing was genius. They placed creepy people behind home plate at MLB games. Oh yeah, they did. Just like viral marketing campaign, which they recently did with Scream 6 as well. They had people going around with ghost face masks. Very good strategy. Very good. And I agree. It's not Top Gun Maverick. It's not all the big blockbusters that are saving the theater. It's these smaller horror movie franchises, and I agree with what Clark Wolf said about that the on her social media. And I submit Smile as Exhibit 1 with that lower budget, making $217 million, getting people out there talking about horror. Cool, man. Fall 2, sequel. Now, Fall is just out on Netflix, and I watched it last year. Earlier this year, but sequel to last year's Fear the Heights thrillers in the works. So, two girls climb a tower, the ladder breaks, and they get stuck up there, and they got to figure out a way down. Very simple. If you're afraid of heights, this one will make you, your palms will be sweating for this one for sure. Now, what's cool about this one is that it's got the girl from the new Shazam movie that's in this. She's the main character, actually. I don't know why they haven't led from her, because she was great in Shazam, and I think Fall is worth watching simply because of her. If you liked her in Shazam, go watch it because of her. Camera likes her, and she's got talent as an actress. It's a simple concept, so Fall 2, why not? We don't need a synopsis of last year's movie. I just gave it to you guys. British producer T-Shop Productions and director Scott Mann are discussing ideas for a second movie. We've got a couple of ideas kicking around. We don't want to make something that feels like a copycat less than the first one. Yeah, so they got a couple of ideas. And this one, again, was one of those smaller budget films that really flew under the radar for a lot of people. But the people who saw it, well, liked it. I liked it. It went by pretty quick, too. If you've ever seen movies kind of like...
Make your Canadian small business stand out with a .ca domain. It's easy with GoDaddy's domain search.
A movie called Adrift
All this at an
with
affordable price.
Shailene Woodley.
Come on,
It's kind of like that
Get your
concept.
.ca before it's gone. Start today.
Yeah, where somebody gets, two people get kind of like stuck out on a boat all by themselves kind of thing, and it's kind of like, you got to figure out a way to solve it, right? It's kind of like that, Fall. It's got Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it too, so, Negan, if you like Negan, there you go. So that's on Netflix too, and I thought I was toiling around with throwing that in a poll. Maybe I'll put that in the poll for next week, because people didn't really want to watch Splice, even though Splice is trending right now on Netflix. Oh, mercy! Is it snowing out? Holy God! Mercy! There's a snowstorm outside. Fall 2. I'd be curious to see. It wouldn't have to be the exact same, not necessarily on a tower, but that concept of like Adrift, where it's just two people stuck in a situation where they can't get help and they got to figure out a way to solve the situation. There could be something up there for that. Maybe they get stuck. No, they couldn't get on top of like a ranger's tower or something. But yeah, it's something like that I could see. A Weaver says, I love those kinds of movies. There was a pretty good one with some people stuck on a ski lift, I recall. Oh yeah, that was like Frozen or something, right? Yeah, a concept like that. I saw that one too. That one was good too, right? It's like, do you drop off? And yeah, you're going to break your legs, but at least you're down and you can go for help. Crawl for help. You weigh out the scenarios, and that's what Fall was. So if they make a Fall 2, why not? Twister 2. Now, this is not really horror, so we'll go over this one quickly. This is a big headline out there. Twisters is coming out 2024, and cast Daisy Edgar Jones will star in this movie. Twisters, from the director of Minari? Is that what it is? Yeah. Lee Isaac Chung is going to be directing Twisters. July 19th is when this is supposed to come out. First had Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. Now, last I heard, they were trying to talk to Helen Hunt and get her back into this one. This is more of a thriller than a horror, but Bloody Disgusting had the headline, so I figured I'd pull it. Twisters, there's not much right now as who else is being in this. Just Daisy Edgar Jones, if you don't know who or what else she's been in. She was in Where Did the Crawdads Sing? Oh, awesome. Yeah, she was really good in Where the Crawdads Sing. That movie stuck with me after watching it for a while because the ending, the reveal, like there's a mystery in that movie, and the reveal to it was kind of like shocking. I felt it was kind of like I don't know if that sits with me, but I like movies like that too. So she's the top tier talent for sure, and her in a Twisters movie. Cool. Oh, she was in Fresh. Fresh is on Star. Maybe we can. Maybe I'll put up Fresh as well. That's that movie with Sebastian Stan, right? Where he's like a cannibal and she discovers it. Yeah, so maybe I'll put Fresh Fall. And we'll figure out a way to put in the menu. Maybe we'll watch the menu on Monday because we don't have The Last of Us anymore. Yeah, maybe I'll do that, guys. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. Even though I said I wanted to cut back on movies. Anyway, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Let's take a look. Freddie Prinze Jr. updates his involvement in the sequel. So yeah, we got early word that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. were in talks to return for this I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot or sequel, requel, I would call it, from the director of Do Revenge, Jennifer Caton Robinson. So, an update from Freddie Prinze Jr. He says in an interview with TooFab, I have been offered nothing. Nothing, he says. They just said that people to get people excited. I had a conversation with the director a few days ago after they announced that, just to be like, yo, what the hell? Why are people saying I'm going to be in a movie that I'm probably not going to be in? So by the sounds of it, he doesn't seem too intrigued that he'd be back in it. He has tried to start to come back into the acting realm, though. He's not the one that I would be curious about. I'm more like, I want to see Jennifer Love Hewitt back in this more than anything. They were young. They were the young love interests. Sometimes those young couples go the distance. It doesn't really matter if they recast him and she's married to some other dude. Let's be brutally honest here. Freddie Prinze Jr. is not that good of an actor. I know that breaks a lot of people's hearts, but it is what it is. He just doesn't have that extra gear in him, right? He can read the line competently, but he's not a leading man. Freddie Prinze Jr. continues, I have no reason to lie to anyone. I have no skin in the game. I'm only going to do things that I like and work with people that I like, and there's not going to be any wiggle room this time around. Messed up the first time around. This time I just want to do stuff I'm passionate about. So yeah, I haven't read the script. So it sounds like he's not even money is the concern to him. So yeah. Well, he's married to Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, they're both well off financially. They don't have to work. From what I hear, he's like into surfing and stuff like that. So hey, don't have to work. But he is trying to make a little bit of a comeback. I saw, wasn't he in some kind of a Christmas movie last year or something? I'll keep my eye on that project because I do like the property. What did you do last summer for sure? Yeah, A Weaver says, excellent, Daisy can carry this. Yeah, she can. Talking about Twisters 2, Bifer says the opening scene in the old Twisters movie was the greatest opening scene. Yeah, that one was getting into that underground shelter. Daisy Edgar Jones was in Fresh. Okay, yeah. A Weaver says my niece was scared for life in that opening scene. Yeah, well, they like the visual effects for Twisters. They could really ramp up like that scare factor of people getting sucked out or up into the vortex and stuff too. Yeah, it's going to be scary. traumatic for some people for sure. Okay. Now we got a little bit of a somber note here. I misspelled it here. Oh my God, I misspelled it in my graphic here. Damn. It says Lace Reddick. It's supposed to be Lance Reddick, guys. My bad. John Wick star and Resident Evil star Lance Reddick has passed away at the age of 60. That sucks. Yeah. He was like the concierge at the hotel in the John Wick movies. And that's a bummer. It's 60 is too young. That's too young. He was a presence on the screen for sure. You're just like, even if you didn't like the Resident Evil series, which I actually like the Resident Evil series, he was one of the main characters in it. He was like the scientist trying to work with the T-virus. I heard this, what was it, last night, and I was just, oh man, that sucks. That sucks, because people go to him to like as potential other projects, and they're like, he's often fan casted in other stuff too, right? People say, well, who would be good in this role? Well, Lance Reddick would be, he would be good in that. And it's like, that sucks, man. Now, as of now, I don't see a cause. It appears to be natural, but sometimes maybe when they pass young, they're fighting something on the side. You don't know if they're fighting a disease or a cancer of some kind. I hope that's not the case. But that's bummer news. It bummed me out. He was in The Wire, Fringe, Oz, and Lost. Oh yeah, that's right. He did have a small part in Lost, right? Storied career for sure. Yeah, it's gonna send your condolences. And rest in peace. That's Reddick. Okay. Yeah, I hate to keep on talking about this kind of bummer news. And this one also sucks. So let's talk about this. Sam Neill reveals he's being treated for stage 3 blood cancer. Just pleased to be alive. Sam Neill, he's no stranger to the horror genre. Things like Possession. What's another great one that he was in that was horror? The Event Horizon. Oh yeah, Event Horizon. Like, yeah, he's done his fair share of horror. Yeah, that sucks, man. Stage 3. We're crying out loud, man. Sam Neill, of course, you recognize him from Jurassic Park and stuff like that. But Possession is a masterpiece, I think, in my books. Very early film of his, him playing, like, him and his wife are having marital issues of, like, infidelity and stuff like that. And it's crazy. It's that movie where the woman's, like, screaming in the subway station for, like, 2 minutes. Yeah. He's a great actor, and it sucks. And from what I understand from this, what I'm reading, it's not affecting him yet. He's 75, but he's got to take a drug for it that he's got to take now for the rest of his life to keep it in check. So it doesn't sound like it's anything serious too yet. Well, I would say that it's serious, but it hasn't crippled him, right? And Sam Neill was in The Omen, yeah. I saw this headline this morning too, and that just kind of bummed me out. So, condolences to Lance Reddick, and well wishes to Sam Neill. I hope he gets a dead calm. Oh yeah, that's right, with Nicole Kidman and Titanic. The Phantom. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Yeah, he was also in The Omen. Come on, pretty boy. What's his name? All right, I'm gonna have to look him up. The Phantom. Yeah, what the heck was his name? Billy Zane. There we go, James. Come on. Yeah, Billy Zane. He was in that. A Weaver. Yeah, thanks. That was Dead Calm. That was a good movie too. Yeah, talking about two people getting stranded out somewhere. Except that one took on a little bit of a nefarious route. And I liked Billy Zane in that one. And that's another actor. What happened to him too? I mean, come on. All right, we got some hit or miss headlines here. Because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I hope everybody's not hurting too much up here from too many libations. I saw this article and I thought I'd pull it. 10 Irish horror movies to stream on St. Patrick's Day. Of course, you got all the Leprechaun movies, but some here I didn't even know. Grabbers on AMC Plus. I don't even know why that's Irish. Dubbed Grabbers by locals, have an affinity for blood human and tentacled monsters off the coast of Ireland. Huh. Caveat. Okay. Loner. Hollow. Never even heard of some of these ones. We don't have a lot of time to go over this, but are you... Hey, Weaver. Is that nice to ask someone? Isolation. On Tubi. Crackle. Maybe I'll have to check out some of these ones. Because some of these I've never even heard of. A Dark Song. That's on Tubi. Hole in the Ground. Wait a minute. So we just talked about Hole in the Ground. Is that an Irish movie? Lee Cronin? I don't see what that has to do with for St. Patrick's Day. Basically, if you haven't heard the premise for Hole in the Ground, this mother and her son are out walking in the woods, and he's very young. She turns around and he goes missing, and she runs around and she sees this big hole in the ground, and then she goes back home. Search parties go out and stuff, and then the next day he appears out of nowhere, and he says, "I fell in the hole," and it's like, what? But then she begins. He acts weird after that, right? He acts very strange. I don't know what that has to do with St. Patrick's Day, though. High Spirits. Let Us Pray. Tubi. Maybe these are just movies that came out because they don't seem very Irish to me. Leprechaun, yeah. Leprechaun is everybody's go-to horror movie. I just thought I'd pull that one. Let's see what Ardella says. I don't get hangovers from Guinness. Nice. My first St. Patrick's Day film is Leprechaun. Yeah, Guinness is hard. Well, you don't want to get. Yeah, you would have to have a lot of Guinness to get drunk. Ugh. And Guinness is something you like. I just like to sip it, man. Like I could put a Guinness in this, and I have it like all afternoon. I'd just be like taking a pull from it. You savor it, man. You savor it. It's one of those savoring ones, right? It's not like a lager or well, an ale that you just want to kind of like slam down. Anyway, enough about that foolishness. Yeah, Darby O'Gill and the Little People is a St. Patrick's Day staple. Okay, maybe I can take a look at that one. I'm gonna copy that, put that into the old Google. 1959. Oh no, okay, yeah, I remember this one. This one did have a banshee in it, right? Is that this one? If this is the one I'm thinking of and it had a banshee in it, is that the one I'm thinking of? That banshee used to freak me out. Yeah. If this is the one I'm thinking about. Yeah. If that's on Disney Plus, maybe I'll check that out. Okay, guys, we got some other headlines here that are not really horror headlines, but we are going to go through them because they're big. They're big. They're big headlines, so we got to talk about it. And then I'm going to do my review for. Let's do that. Let's get that set up. At the end of this show, I'm going to do my review for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and then that'll get cut out and posted up on the channel later on. Yeah. But we got some other headlines in here that I want to talk about. Just getting my format all set up here. And then, yeah, we'll be watching The Ritual at 1 o'clock. So I'll reset all of that. Yeah. Okay. What's going on here? Why is that taking forever? Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Just some fun headlines here. Oh, I know why. I know why that's going. All right. Willem Dafoe says that he's down to return as the Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe is down to return as the Green Goblin in a third Spider-Man movie. That's a great role. Well, of course, he was great in Spider-Man No Way Home. Was just fantastic. It was just really cool to see that he got the opportunity to come back in that, and of course, and he can still pull it off. He can still pull it off. Now, I don't know how they would bring him back because they would have to go back into that multiverse kind of stuff, which I think is wearing thin on people. But Willem Dafoe is open to it. He said to The Inside, promoting his new movie, The Inside, in an interview. If everything was right, sure. Excuse me. Yeah. I mean, that's a great role he added. I liked it. I like the fact that it's a double role both times, 20 years ago and fairly recently, both times. Very different experiences, and I had a great time on both. Yeah. And Willem Dafoe is the kind of guy that, even for this newer one, he was very hands-on in wanting to do all the stunts himself. He's just so iconic as the Green Goblin. Whoever takes on the role next, when they take on Spider-Man in the newer ones, it's going to be a tough act to follow for sure. Man, that fight scene in No Way Home with him when he's getting hit and then he just like starts to smile and laugh at him, like that's the power of Willem Dafoe. And of course, everybody would like to see that happen. Why not? He didn't really technically die, did he? Or because he just got sent back. We'll have to see. What else is next? Denzel Washington is reuniting with Ridley Scott on Gladiator 2, the sequel to Paramount. So we got some more casting. We just heard that Barry Keoghan is going to be in talks to join the cast, and it looks like Denzel Washington is going to be joining that. That's cool. Actually, do you guys know that is not like his mother called him Denzel? So it's really pronounced like his father's name is Denzel. So it's really Denzel Washington, but his mother started calling him Denzel to distinguish between the two, and he just ran with that. But anyway, I'm digressing. So Gladiator 2, we know that that's coming. Paul Mescal is going to be playing in that, and hopefully Barry Keoghan. That would be kind of cool. He was in talks to play one of the villains, like the new Emperor. Barry was. I'm guessing that Denzel will be playing some kind of a mentor role in that. So, yeah, that's cool, man. And yeah, he's worked with him before. It was Man on Fire, right? Was it Man on Fire? Or American Gangster? Yeah, not Man on Fire. That was Tony Scott was Man on Fire, right? American Gangster. Oh, yeah, and I loved American Gangster. That's definitely one of Ridley Scott's better films. So that's cool. Or maybe Denzel will be playing one of the bad guys. Denzel as a bad guy always nails it, right? Both in American Gangster and Training Day. Fences, he was sort of like not a really good dude. Denzel's a top tier talent. That's phenomenal. I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm starting to get hyped about this project. Because before it was kind of like Ridley Scott was talking about it for years and he was kind of like, meh. Is it going to come together or isn't it? Is it going to be good? But now we're getting some of the cast and I'm starting to get a little bit hyped for it. I have to admit. Okay. You guys don't care about this, but there's going to be a video out later today. Taylor Swift Eras Tour full set list revealed for her opening night. And I was in awe by how many songs she sang on her. It was like 44. Now, my God. Guys, I sit here and I talk for an hour straight, and my voice starts to get fatigued. And my voice is well trained, and I do streaming for like 3 hours. I can do it. I do try to take care of my voice. I've noticed, you may have noticed over the last week or so, I've really started to concentrate on the way that I'm talking and pronouncing words, that I'm not straining and going really high and stuff like that, because I am trying to preserve it. So doing 44 songs, my God, that's wow, good for her. And it looks like she's hitting all the greatest hits and stuff in there from across the albums and stuff like that. She does the 10-minute version of All Too Well. So wow, that's impressive. Now I'm guessing that a lot of them are not going to be her jumping around all the time and singing. A lot of them will be just like in her speaking voice. That's the only way you could do it. Doing it in the singing voice and going up high all the time. Yeah, I don't know. She's talented, isn't she? All right, enough about that. All right, let's get into my Shazam review, and then we'll round it out, and then I'll set up for the ritual at 1 p.m. Denzel was great in Safe House, but has ambiguously whether he is a bad guy doing good. Oh, yeah. Safe House, that was that one with Ryan Reynolds, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. I don't even know what I'm going to say about this one, but I'll try to do my best here. This will be cut out later. Post it up. Because I did my straight out of the theater reaction. A lot of people seem to appreciate that, so let's get into this. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is out in the theater this weekend, guys, and I gotta tell you, my initial impressions of it were that I kind of, enjoyed it. Let's go over to the IMDb and I'll tell you the synopsis. It reads, the film continues the story of a teenage Billy Batson who, upon reciting the magical word Shazam, is transformed into his adult superhero. Now, hey, that doesn't say too much. Okay, so basically, we saw from the trailers that Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are the villains in this, and I gotta tell you, they do a great job. Helen Mirren, I thought that it would be kind of like, she would just be kind of like, if she had to do with like fight scenes and stuff, there would be like a stand-in. No, and she does carry that menace to her. But Lucy Liu, I think, is even better in this as the villain, because she just transforms about halfway through and just takes it, like, ramps it up. And you've seen from the trailer, she rides around on the dragon and stuff like that, so it's kind of like, yeah, you got the impressions that Lucy Liu would be one of the bigger villains in it, like the main villain kind of thing. But yeah, I dug it, man. And Zachary Levi as the title character there, I felt like he did a great job. I want to see more from him. You know that he likes playing this character, and I'll leave some spoilers here towards the end, talking about what his future could be, because I'm thinking there are 2 post-credit scenes, and one of the post-credit scenes does leave the door open for him to return. The family was probably the weakest part for me. I liked her, but the guy and the everywhere guy, or the all-powerful friend there, or whatever, I didn't like that storyline. But everything going on with these villains, I felt was fantastic. They wanted just to restore their powers as gods, and I got on board with that. And this kind of spoils one of the reveals that you didn't really know in the trailers, but that's okay. It's not really too spoilerish. As I said, Lucy Liu is the standout here. I'm glad to see her back in full form here. Oh yeah, this guy, yeah, we don't need to. We don't need that. Megan Good is my dream girl, says Byford. Yeah. Okay, so Megan Good there in purple. Yeah, she was okay, and so was Caroline Grace Curry, right? Is that her name? Yeah. Those 2 were good, but the guys were just kind of like, in the background for the most part from the family. They just got kind of lost in the background there. Grace Caroline Curry as Mary, and Megan Good was superhero Darla. But it does have some script issues, pacing issues. It's 2 hours. This movie should be an hour. They could easily cut out 20 minutes of this. Because there's some dialogue in here that is clunky. There's some storylines, some sub themes here that they could have just axed that feel really weird. Really, really weird. Once you find out some certain things about a one character, it's like, guys, that's not right. Yeah. The costumes look great. I did look up her when I came out because I wanted to see what else she was in. But the guys, they're there and some of them vanish right away. So it's kind of like, what the heck? Sorry, spoiler alert. Shazam takes the focus. Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, great. And as I said in my initial reaction, it's really CG heavy towards the end. Which will be off for some people. Some of the comedy doesn't land, a little too childish, but you could tell that Zachary Levi likes playing this role, and I do hope we get to see more. It does kind of leave it open to the fact if this movie does well, that we could possibly see more with Zachary Levi, and I think I'll be okay with that if he gets to be one of the carryovers into the new DC. Because we really haven't seen Superman or anything like that. Or I guess they loosely tied it to the Black Adam because we've seen that. It's the same wizard character in Black Adam. But they'll find a way to explain it. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people were saying about this. 54% by the critics. That's the same as yesterday. 86% by the audience. So the audience likes it a lot more. And I'm kind of in between there. So I'll end up with my score here once we look at some of the snapshot reviews and see if we agree with them. From the Times UK, in a drama this dumb and unaware, the buffed up makeover seems like an insult to the same inadequate outsiders and weedy minorities the film pretends to champion. Times. So he didn't like it, obviously. I don't know what the heck. What are you trying to say there, man? Yeah, there's a very teenage quality feel to it at times. That has a lot to do with the family aspect of it. If they just kept it more focused in on Shazam, I think it would have been better served. Because as I said, the story does digress with a few of the side characters that make you kind of go like, really? Should we really be going here? It just doesn't feel right, you know. It just, yeah. Let's take a look at a good review here and see what somebody said. From Rolling Stone. Fun, clever, smartly conceived entertainment that doesn't take itself too seriously. What a concept. Yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but Zachary Levi does take it seriously as his character, and I think he's enough for me to recommend it. Yeah, for sure. The family here, this is what makes it too childish, I think. When it's going to be, that's the angle where people will be like, that doesn't work for me. Right? Maybe I'm wrong here. Because they are getting older. She's getting older. And it's like, and the Billy Batson actor is getting older. And so is the guy from the It movie, right? He was in It. So they can't wait 3 years for another Shazam to come out. They would have to greenlight the next one soon, and the tracking of this hasn't been great, so I don't know if it's going to make enough money. The one thing that I was worried about that would be a post-credit scene going into this isn't. So they address that in the better of the movie. And I'll talk about that in spoilers after I wrap this up and give you guys my score. I'm going to lightly talk about spoilers. About some cameos. So, Shazam, Fury of the Gods is worth seeing in the theater in my books. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I actually think that I enjoyed this one better than the first film. And it a lot had to do with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu as the villains, for sure. Okay, so while the critics were not kind to it with 54%, 86, 8.5 is too high for me. I would give Shazam! Fury of the Gods a 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Okay. If you like what you've seen, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Come to the channel Mirror Domains, where you can find like a lot of live streaming stuff, and there are all my other social media handles. On the community tab, you can see our weekly schedule where we post everything that we're going to be doing during the week. Full movie watch-alongs, trailer reactions, straight out of the movie reviews, theater movie reviews, and stuff like that. Everything movies here, guys. If you love movies, we cover all genres. So, hey, if you dig it, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. You're watching Mirror Domains. All right, let's address a few spoilers here as I pull up the as I pull up the chat here. See what some people are saying here. Viper says Megan Good is my dream girl. DC is a hot mess. It is. But we got the announcement, A. Weaver, there that Shazam is supposed to be loosely following into the James Gunn reboot. And so is Flash and Aquaman. They're all supposed to tie in to what's going to happen next in the reboot of the DC universe. And this does. Shazam does. Tangled. Why did they jump the gun? Pun intended on the reboot. Yeah. We still have Aquaman too. Yeah, well, we got Aquaman and The Flash still. The Flash is supposed to be like the hard reboot, but then Aquaman comes out after that. So I don't quite understand how that's going to work. But they did the 2 post-credit scenes in this. The first one is the one that you need to pay attention to. And I guess it ties into Peacemaker. So I never watched Peacemaker. But if you did, you will appreciate the post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene for this. So that's worthwhile sticking around for. And if it's tying into Peacemaker, that tells me that James Gunn is leaving the door open for Zachary Levi to continue as Shazam. Because in the first Shazam movie, we never saw the Superman, right? We just saw the person in the costume step in. We never saw the face, and we never saw that it was Henry Cavill. We assumed that it was Henry Cavill, but yeah, we do. It is what it is. Now, in this one, from the TV spots. So if you haven't seen any of the TV spots and you're still trying to hold out, tangled mess. Okay, yeah. If you're still trying to hold out, spoilers here. This is the big spoiler. It's in the TV spots. So Wonder Woman is in this. Gal Gadot is in this movie. And I was worried that that was going to be the post-credit scene. It's not. It's in the movie. So that almost confirms to me, too. That's my evidence number 2, that Zachary Levi is going to, even if this movie bombs, which I think it is, which sucks, because it's not that bad. I had fun with it, as I said. I think Zachary Levi, there's enough wiggle room there that you can still keep him in there as Shazam. The thing is then, is he going to fight Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam? Is he going to fight? He's going to fight the new Superman by the sound, by the feel of it. He's not going to fight Henry Cavill's Superman or fight along with them, right? There's a dance around, except for the fact that now they've got Gal Gadot in there as Wonder Woman. So it's kind of like, is she going to continue forward? So if Gal Gadot and Zachary Levi continue on in the universe, and we get Batfleck back and in Flash, it's so, yeah. I agree with that sentiment of tangled. I'm getting tangled up trying to think about it. The door's open there for them to keep Gal Gadot as well. But we know that in the Gunn universe, they're doing a prequel series to Wonder Woman where it's all about the island of Themyscira, right? So it's not going to be, Wonder Woman's not going to appear in that. It's just going to be about the politics before that. And Gal Gadot's not getting any younger. It'll be like years before we get another Wonder Woman. So it's just kind of curious as to why she appears in this movie still. I would have preferred it almost if she didn't. It was cool to see, and if that was the last time we saw Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, that was a cool cameo that she did. It was, and it was worth seeing. If that was like her swan song to say goodbye, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I've gone from depressed to nauseous. Yeah. Does it? No, because I like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. As you guys know, it's the only poster I have on my wall. It's her. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. I think somehow they're going to rework for Shazam to still continue. At least the snowstorm is over. I don't think you guys can see outside. Yeah. My exposure would have to be my, oh, actually, you know what I can do? No, that's not what I want to do. No, oh, God. That's not what I want to do. James, you're messing this up. Okay, I'm totally messing this up. All right. Guys. Okay. Now this work. That should be really dark, right? No, because I changed the f-stop. I don't know if it'll work now. It's on my tripod. You guys can't see it. It's snowing hard out there. But anyway, meh. It is what it is. Let's change that f-stop all the way back. Because I use manual settings. That's it for me today, guys, here on the Horror Weekly Roundup. I'm going to reset here, and in about 50 minutes, we'll be back to watch The Ritual at 1 p.m. because that did... Let me just refresh that poll. Just to confirm here, because if the menu went back, then I'll just repost the menu. I'm hyped about both of them, so that's the way that I feel. 12 degrees of sunny here, says Hourglass. Okay, so community tab. Go to the community. Yeah, so I just refreshed this, so 50%. So yeah, we'll watch The Ritual. And that's cool, because the director of The Ritual, he did our movie last week. You know, he did The Night House, right? So he did The Night House, and he also did The Ritual. So that'll be worth watching in just about 50 minutes, guys. Let me reset, and I'll see you guys after my breakfast. Thank you for joining me. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. Enjoy your weekend.